I want to share a story rooted in courage, justice, and the unwavering determination to change the course of history. Rosa Parks once said, "The time is always right to do what is right." This simple yet profound statement reminds us of the timeless call to action for justice and righteousness, no matter how difficult the circumstances. In the next few moments, I will explore this idea by addressing key motivational questions that resonate deeply with our shared human journey. Let us begin with the big picture. Rosa Parks' actions on December 1, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, symbolized the pursuit of justice and equality. By refusing to give up her bus seat for a white passenger, she set into motion a series of events that would challenge systemic racism and segregation in America. Her quiet defiance ignited a movement that forever altered the landscape of civil rights. Today, we draw inspiration from her courage as we ask ourselves, what are we trying to achieve? Our shared mission might differ in specifics, but at its core, it often revolves around creating a better world. A world where dignity, respect, and fairness are accessible to all. Whether it is advocating for marginalized communities, addressing climate change, or pursuing personal growth, the goal is always to bridge the gap between what is and what should be. Rosa Parks' legacy reminds us that achieving big-picture goals starts with small, deliberate acts of integrity. She didn't wake up intending to change the world that day. She simply chose to stand for what was right. Similarly, each of us has the power to contribute to our larger vision through everyday decisions and actions. The big picture is often daunting, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But as Rosa Parks' story demonstrates, even the smallest acts of courage can spark transformational change. So, let us commit ourselves to the big picture, keeping in mind that every journey begins with a single step. Motivation is the engine that drives action. For Rosa Parks, the motivation stemmed from a deeply ingrained sense of justice and a refusal to accept dehumanizing treatment. She was not merely tired from a long day at work, she was tired of injustice. Her decision to resist was fueled by a desire to uphold her dignity and that of countless others who suffered under the weight of systemic racism. What motivates me, and what might motivate you as well, is the understanding that we are part of something greater than ourselves. Each of us has a role to play in shaping the future. When we see injustice, inequality, or suffering, we are faced with a choice: to act or to remain silent. The stories of those who came before us, like Rosa Parks, serve as a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have when they choose to act. Motivation also comes from the realization that our actions can inspire others. Rosa Parks' courage inspired the Montgomery bus boycott, which in turn galvanized the civil rights movement. Similarly, when we act with integrity and purpose, we create ripples that extend far beyond our immediate circle. What might motivate us collectively is the recognition that we are all interconnected. The challenges we face, whether social, environmental, or personal, are not isolated. They affect us all in different ways. By coming together with a shared sense of purpose, we can amplify our impact and create lasting change. Every journey toward doing what is right is fraught with obstacles. Rosa Parks faced immense barriers, from societal norms that perpetuated segregation to the immediate threat of arrest and violence. Yet, she chose to confront these challenges head-on, knowing the risks involved. In our own lives, barriers might take the form of fear, doubt, or external opposition. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of standing out often hold us back. Doubts about whether our efforts will make a difference can be paralyzing. External barriers, such as systemic inequality, lack of resources, or resistance from others, further complicate the path forward. To overcome these barriers, we must first acknowledge them. Rosa Parks didn't ignore the reality of her situation. She faced it with courage and clarity. She understood that change would not come without sacrifice, but she also believed that the cause was worth the struggle. Similarly, we must confront our fears and doubts with the understanding that they are part of the process. Progress often requires stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing uncertainty. We must also seek support from others who share our vision. Just as Rosa Parks' actions were supported by a broader community, including leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Our efforts are strengthened when we work together. Change always involves risk. When Rosa Parks chose to resist segregation laws, she risked her personal safety, her livelihood, and her freedom. The risks she took were not trivial, but they were necessary to challenge the status quo and pave the way for a better future. Reassuring others about the risks we're asking them to take requires transparency and a shared sense of purpose. It's important to acknowledge the challenges while also highlighting the potential rewards. Rosa Parks' story reassures us that even in the face of great risk, the pursuit of justice is worth it. Her actions remind us that the cost of inaction, allowing injustice to persist, is often far greater than the risks of taking a stand. We can also reassure others by demonstrating resilience and adaptability. Rosa Parks' resistance was not an isolated act. It was part of a larger movement that adapted and evolved over time. The Montgomery bus boycott, for example, required meticulous planning, collective effort, and unwavering determination. This collaborative approach ensured that the risks taken by individuals were supported by a broader network of allies. Finally, we can draw reassurance from the lessons of history. The progress achieved through the civil rights movement, though hard one, demonstrates that systemic change is possible. By learning from the past and building on the foundations laid by those who came before us, we can face risks with confidence and determination. The journey toward doing what is right is rarely easy. Rosa Parks' decision to resist segregation was the beginning of a long and arduous struggle for civil rights. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted over a year, requiring immense sacrifice and resilience from the Black community in Montgomery. The broader civil rights movement spanned decades, involving countless individuals who faced arrests, violence, and even death in their pursuit of equality. Similarly, the journeys we embark on today will likely be filled with challenges. Progress is often slow, and setbacks are inevitable. It's important to be realistic about the difficulties ahead while maintaining hope and determination. We must prepare for the journey by cultivating resilience and perseverance. Rosa Parks and her contemporaries demonstrated an extraordinary ability to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Their strength came from a deep belief in the righteousness of their cause and a commitment to seeing it through, no matter how long it took. The journey also requires collaboration and solidarity. Rosa Parks' actions were supported by a broader community that shared her vision. Today, we must build networks of support and work together to overcome obstacles. By uniting our efforts, we can achieve far more than any one individual could alone. Finally, we must celebrate progress along the way. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth acknowledging. Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat was a single act, but it sparked a movement that achieved monumental change. Let us remember that the journey toward doing what is right is as important as the destination. Rosa Parks' words, "The time is always right to do what is right," serve as a timeless call to action. Her story reminds us that courage, determination, and a commitment to justice can change the course of history. As we reflect on the questions that guide our own journeys, let us draw inspiration from her example and commit ourselves to the pursuit of what is right. The journey ahead may be challenging, but it is also filled with possibility. Together, we have the power to create a better, more just world. The time to act is now.